Beyblade X has the absolute craziest news right now. Impact Drake, a Bey with rubber attack. Go Circle, that is a circle. FC Barcelona collabing with Beyblade X. Random colored drawn busters, but a silver Cobalt Drake. And
Spider-Man's name is Peter Parker.
we have so much news to go over in this video, and we are going to get started. Now, I do want to say links in the description for any credit for anyone who was able to help out. And obviously, I put so much effort into this video. Please like and comment your thoughts, and I'll try to leave timestamps, or someone else will probably do it if they can. So let's go over everything one by one. Let's first talk about the December releases, which released December 28th, right at the end of this year. We're gonna first talk about Impact Drake, since there is a lot of hype around it. This is obviously the variant of Cobalt Drake, but in the unique line. Yeah, I gotta also ask this, what's going on with Chrome there? What's going on there? Impact Drake is very interesting because they actually gave it rubber hooks and rubber contact points. So what's gonna be pretty cool about this is the general design of it. Now, just kind of talking about the blade on its own, I would say that it is a lot better of a shape than the previous Cobalt Drake, where that Drake, it was really rounded off, and while it could be used for attack in the early time of Beyblade X, because there wasn't really much opposition, it was more better suited for defense. This is slightly more aggressive, so potentially better use for attack for the shape. It's nothing too crazy to write home about. Now, the fact that it has rubber contact points, I do have to mention this. Now, no matter what, if you have rubber contact points, it is not going to be as effective as, let's say, pure metal, or let's say just plastic by itself. Some have tried to say something similar to burst, where they thought, oh, well, maybe because it has rubber, it could grip onto the ratchet to cause a burst. This is kind of like the same thought that people had with Judgment, but either way, like, hard rubber would be preferred for that. So if it does end up having hard rubber, cool. Otherwise, whatever, like, game's the game for it. I just don't see the gimmick being effective. I do think if the shape of it is good enough to work, then hey, fair plays. Now, it also does come with 960. 960 is a pretty solid ratchet. It's low height, hard to burst, solid stamina. What's really cool is low rush, because low rush is a bit where, no, by the way, rush is a bit where it does the slow, controlled extreme dash and repeated multiple times. So to have that at the lower height is going to benefit a lot of attack blades, like, let's say, a Shark, or that type of stuff, so I'm pretty excited for that. But I think overall, Impact Drake, well, I'm not too sure about the blade, and I still want to maybe say this could probably be pretty cool for defense, depending on how hard the rubber is, because if it's soft rubber, that's not going to be too good for it, but it'll probably be good for defense. If it's really hard rubber, then you could probably use it a little bit more for the attack stuff, but it seems cool enough. Now, next up, we have Ghost Circle. Now, unfortunately, at the time of this recording, we still do not have the full combinations. Either way, the lineup is, I mean, I've already said it, I don't think it's that crazy for the blades. Now, obviously, we have an alleged, and I'm saying alleged here, lineup. I don't know if this is confirmed, so this is heavy rumor and speculation, but this was floating around, so these are the true combinations. It's mid, but it's not like too bad. Now, next up, we have Ghost Circle, which the owner, by the way, for this one is Kuwabara Ryu. Hopefully I'm saying that name right. Now, she's a part of the team Gordius team or whatever. That's with Konjiki Karura, whatever. But yeah, your design looks really cool. It's probably my second favorite for a female blader in Beyblade X. I really like Mako Maiden's design. Her Bey is really cool. So Ghost Circle is really literal for like the gimmick and namesake. It's just a very small, condensed, compact circle. Now, really small, kind of like Rhino Horn compact. So if they don't make it imbalanced and they somehow make this pretty heavy, might be scary for stamina stuff. If not, I don't know. We'll cover the 080, which is really funny. So 080, zero sides. It's basically three sides if they kind of cut off around it and made it like really thick. I mean, if this ratchet has a lot of stamina, maybe that could be pretty cool for the 80 height stuff. I think the worst aspect of this is just the gear ball. I think it's really lame that they're reprinting a gear ball. I think if they're gonna give repeated, they should have just gotten a reprint of Glide or something for the stock. Yes, it does matter to me because Glide is like at least like it's a usable bit versus gear ball. Come on. But yeah, there's some other stuff. They throw in some super fun combo stuff. Like they show like a bunch of team combinations, and you do get a little bit of a closer look of Impact Drake and even the Ghost Bey there. So that's something I do appreciate quite a bit that they actually did manage to show through it. So if you want to see a closer look there, we kind of have the pics. So now we're getting into kind of real manga territory here for kind of spoilers. I let one slide because that one's not really that big of a reveal, but this one is. So skip ahead to like this timestamp, I guess, or whatever, or I'll put a timestamp in the description to skip spoilers or maybe whatever. But so basically the owner of Aero Pegasus is Omega Shiraboshi. So the Shiraboshi style members were forbidden from participating in the X Tower. Omega rebelled against the tradition, aiming to become the top and be a pro blader. Tenka was chosen by the school to defeat her mother for rebelling against the school, but her mother is crazy strong, so Tenka can't defeat Omega on her own and needs Team Persona's help. Pendragon from the one half of the tower battles against the other half of the tower for the super top title, and the Pegasus owner, or Omega, beats them 2-0. She then after announces a new star battle where teams battle for stars, and if you win, you get a star. If you lose one. The first team to get 100 stars fights her, and her team is Zodiac. And yeah, her design looks really, really cool, and I really do like how the story is kind of going for season 2. I think it's actually really, really interesting the direction they're going to be taking, so I'm pretty hyped for that. Okay, next up, we got to talk about Cobalt Drake. So obviously, you know, Cobalt Drake was originally this rare Baykit battle for like the extreme finish, and now Cobalt Drake with the silver variant is, yes, this is also a rare Baykit battle. So, I mean, first of all, before we kind of get into it, because I already can see the pitchforks, I do have to kind of give kind of a smoldering. The hot take I'm going to give is that these bays are made within the audience they're intended for. So that would be Asia, Japan, Singapore, Korea, whatever, right? They're made for that intended audience. So when people go, oh, why can't I get this specific? Well, first of all, the release to begin with wasn't intended for you. It's intended for people who live within that region to do the rare bay gacha nonsense. Now, does that mean I approve of gacha gambling garbage? No, but it's made for the intended reason. Now, I do want to say this. The Cobalt Drake being basically put as the burst, I believe this should be the burst finish win condition, since I think it's like 1600 yen or whatever. Yeah, you know, burst finish is not that hard to do, and I'm kind of okay that they're going to be cycling this. I believe this should be end of November, I'm pretty sure. I'm kind of happy that we get an easier way to get Drake. And I do have to mention this, to anyone who's kind of like dooming whatever, you do realize that there is secondhand, if you really are FOMO, fear of missing out, where this was the same thing for Claw Leon, Scythe Incendio, Gold, I don't know why I'm using the Hasbro names, but I guess like screw it, right? And all that other stuff. So again, it's not going to be the hardest thing to get. A lot of people are going, oh, well, why wasn't this split in a random booster for like 3 different pulls, or why wasn't this locked in a customized set? I would probably argue that for however much it's going to cost to get a silver Drake, whether you actually getting it or secondhand, it would be the same cost if they did that other shit. Now either way, you know, it's rare bay whatever, so there is a little bit limited if you want to get it one way, but either way it would appear in the secondhand market no matter what. I mean, I might even have this on Mala Bays, which shit, bro, I didn't even get to plug Mala Bays yet. It's an awesome way to support the channel. I appreciate any support regardless. We're almost done with batch 1 of pre-orders, but batch 2 is gonna come pretty soon. But I mean, yeah, I mean, to kind of just finish off my thoughts on this, I mean, yeah, it's cool we get a silver Drake. Drake as a blade is not really like known to be that special. It's just okay. There's another important thing I did want to think about, which is like the Hasbro release. Now, because Hasbro and TT have a good relationship, the bays are 1-to-1, doesn't make sense business-wise for Hasbro to do Drake anytime soon, not until TT finishes the Rare Bay campaign. Once Drake has the campaign completely finished, and you probably see some normalized release, probably around a year later, maybe Hasbro does it, but you know, they have done rare bays before. It's just a matter of waiting to see when. So the other thing which kind of threw me off here is this. In December, I believe end of December, we're gonna get a cycling with Tusk Mammoth, which is going to be a rare bay. I know they're doing something else with Tusk Mammoth, but it's gonna be Tusk Mammoth rare bay. 280 elevates. Now here's my thing. You know, kind of a whatever choice for rare bay in general, but this is way better than Black Dronzer. This comes with at least a higher effort recolor than that of Black Dronzer. I think Tusk Mammoth is a trash blade. I don't think you can get much consistency with it due to the imbalance. It's whatever. If you can make it work, bless your soul. 280, I'm not too, like, I don't care for, but the pink elevates, I like that one. It looks so nice. Visually speaking, really, really cool, and I love how this looks. For it being a rare thing, like, it's neat, you know. Still wouldn't use Tusk Mammoth for anything, but that elevate, I love it. I love it quite a bit. Okay, next up we have the FC Barcelona and Beyblade X collab stuff. So this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. We've seen them constantly push more and more and more and more on these collaboration stuff, which I absolutely love that they are doing. So for one of them, they have the Drawn Buster, which this is just the metal coat of blue, but it looks really nice with all that red and everything. And yeah, I mean, it's a pretty nice thing. You get the mascot bay and you kind of combine it. This seems to be set for January, which is interesting. They also have a stadium by itself that comes with a Hell's Hammer, which that looks really, really cool with that red coat. Plus, the stadium kind of reminds me of like a soccer field, so I really love how this looks. Okay, now this one seems to be kind of a weird thing. This is a B4 store or whatever. So basically, you pay money, you can pick one blade, one ratchet, and one bit. So it's kind of like this cute thing, but it's like in Japan, so it's gonna be like hard to get. This is the Beyblade X equivalent of Pretty Patties from SpongeBob. Also, hey, let's throw in some other stuff just to end off, since we're pretty much right at the end. There's the Koro that announced the design contest that they're doing. Guess we're gonna eventually see someone design a Beyblade that they'll do for the future for Beyblade X. That's pretty cool. And also, they announced like this Beyblade Park thing. Seems to be like a cool area for like Beyblade stuff and whatever. They seem to be preparing some pretty cool merch. They have like all the protagonists of all generations in like drip and whatever, so that seems pretty cool. But I mean, yeah, that's kind of it. I feel we pretty much covered everything that we need to. I'm kind of burnt on this. Like, this is like so much info at once. The amount of editing I have to do, which by the way, as we end off, subscribe if you are new here and comment your thoughts. And what are you most excited for out of all the things I talked about? I would say that Beyblade X is really shaping up to be good. Like, I think if you see all the news that's been recent, the game, Beyblade Zone, which you do have a playthrough on, so that's a good segue. But I do feel everything is progressing very nice. Like, it feels very good to be a Beyblade fan. I said it like a year ago, and I mean it now too. They're really putting so much love into Beyblade to really make it be successful. I think there are some things here and there which is kind of like, but I'm here for the ride. So, yep, that's kind of it for this video. I'm editing this super, super late. I was supposed to get some sleep. Shit, I guess I won't. But thank you all for watching. That'll be it for now. Take care and bye.